Justin Gaethje either ends Paddy Pimblett's entire fairy tale or detonates the lightweight division into chaos. And yet, that's the ending I'm giving you first. Because this thing already spiraled out of control before the cage door even thought about closing. So rewind with me right now and tell me you don't feel it, that sick pressure in your chest. Because when I saw this matchup confirmed, my first thought wasn't excitement. It was, nah, this can't be real. Somebody is lying to us. And we're about to find out who.
That guy, I hate him.
What do you think is going to happen in that Gaethje Paddy fight?
Justin, sometimes he fights so good, sometimes so bad. I hope Justin Gaethje not gonna drink, party, gonna train, dedicate himself, be focused. It's his last chance in this life. Hopefully, he's gonna overstrike him on the feet, and then Paddy gonna try to wrestle him, and he's gonna defend his wrestling and win by decision. Justin, if you need the help, let me know. I'll fly to you and help you. I mean, I want him to win.
Everyone keeps pretending this is just another interim title fight, but listen to the silence between the announcements. Because Ilia Topuria stepping away didn't just open a slot, it cracked the foundation, and the UFC didn't patch it with logic. They stuffed it with chaos because pairing Gaethje with Paddy isn't matchmaking. It's a test, a provocation, a gamble that could flip the division overnight, and you don't gamble like this unless you're hiding something bigger down the road.
Ilia or Paddy? I mean, the fight not happening. It's Justin or Paddy now. Paddy got to get past Justin. Justin's a tough fight, bro. I don't know. A lot of people sleeping on Justin on the Paddy fight, which just makes me ridiculous.
People say Gaethje is inconsistent like it's a flaw, but that inconsistency is exactly what makes him dangerous, because you never know which version shows up, and neither does Paddy, and neither do you, and that uncertainty is a weapon, because when Justin is locked in, he doesn't just beat you, he erases plans, memories, confidence, and the scary part is nobody knows if this is Focus Gaethje or Party Gaethje, and yeah, that question alone could end careers.
You think Paddy's going to beat Justin Gaethje?
Easy.
Wow,
Easy.
really? Easy?
Yeah, easy.
That's a crazy thing to say because Justin Gaethje's a fucking animal.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to grapple, and Paddy knows
But
that.
he's a Division I wrestler. He knows how to grapple. You don't think he knows how to grapple? He just chooses not to.
Did you ever saw him submitting someone?
I don't believe he's ever submitted someone, but I think that's because he likes to just crush people.
Everyone likes is to dominate people and to win as soon as possible. If you have the ability to submit someone as soon as you can, you would do it.
I think Justin Gaethje's mindset is to be the most violent person alive. That's one of the reasons why he lost some fight, because he took unnecessary.
Paddy walks in smiling like destiny already signed the contract for him, talking about inevitability, about gold, about moving up, about legacy, and I'm sitting here thinking, slow down, lad, because confidence becomes arrogance right before it becomes regret. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. If Paddy wins this fight, half the division gets exposed as irrelevant overnight, and that kind of power shift never happens clean.
Paddy's not bad, dude. Paddy's not bad. He's very beatable, and Gaethje's very beatable as well. But when it goes into the passion and how upsetting Justin Gaethje has always been about not getting that real title shot, and they just keep dangling it right there again, Paddy's in for a new treat, right? Paddy's the one that's never fought for a belt. He's going in there. He's going to be trying to, get that stuff. He's going to feel a little bit more fresher. He's going to have that little bit of excitedness, in my opinion.
Ilia Topuria being gone is not just absence, it's tension, because divorces, family priorities, and silence create rumors, and rumors create paranoia. And I can feel something bubbling under this interim belt situation. Like someone doesn't want Ilia rushed back into a mess they already know is coming. And ask yourself this, why does this fight feel rushed? Like it had to happen now, before something else leaks out.
Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje fighting for the interim title. Whoever wins that fight will move on to fight Ilia. And I don't think that there will be a title defense for the interim title. If I was to guess, if I was to bet, there will be no title defense of the interim title. I think that the next fight for whoever wins between Paddy and Justin, I think their next fight will be Ilia Topuria. So do not think they will defend the interim title. So good movement and clarity at 155 pounds. I feel for Arman Tsarukyan, but this fight's going to be incredible.
Tony Ferguson brought up psychology, and that's where this gets uncomfortable. Because Gaethje has been here before, twice, and failing that close to the summit leaves scars you don't see on tape. And when you tell a man this might be his last shot, that pressure either forges steel or shatters it. And I swear, the UFC knows exactly which version they're gambling on, and they're fine with either outcome, which should scare you.
Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. Who do you favor in that fight?
I gotta go with Gaethje. I feel like he's the one that loves to like get down and throw fist for fist, and he's also got the Division I wrestling to negate some of the biggest skill sets of Paddy. Paddy's like a very dominant grappler when it comes to submissions. I think Gaethje has the tools to keep it where he wants it.
Din Thomas broke it down clean but brutal because Paddy doesn't get this path against everyone. He gets it against Gaethje, and that's not accidental because styles make fights and narratives make money. And when you start eliminating contenders like Arman Tsarukyan from the equation, you're not building sport, you're building spectacle, and don't act surprised when spectacle bites back hard.
That night 8 years ago, what's like the first thing that comes to mind when you think of that fight with Justin?
That I'm glad it's over and I never want to do it again. I'm like, the fans don't ever ask for a rematch or anything like that, because that would have never. I'm like, I'm glad. He's unique, man, and he's one of my favorite guys to watch. So like, but if you want to beat Justin Gaethje, you have to. So he's a forward fighter and a pressure fighter that he will stand in the pocket. And he's gonna throw everything he got in that pocket. If you don't meet him, you'll get chewed up. So Paddy, the way to beat a guy who like does this, very violent, aggressive pressure fighter, you have to meet him. You have to throw when he throws. So you got to be brave, and you have to go when he goes in between his shots. If you do that, you got a fair shot. If you don't do that, if you're not brave and courageous and throw when he throws in between his shots, it's going to be a really long night. It's going to be a hard night for you.
Volkanovski saying he can't go against Paddy anymore. Should have hit harder than it did, because champions recognize momentum like predators smell blood. And when Volk admits Paddy keeps winning, it's not praise, it's warning, because momentum ignores logic, ignores rankings, ignores experience. And if Gaethje lets that momentum breathe even once, this fight turns into something ugly fast.
They're not even like, they're just basically saying Paddy's more popular, you're getting it over Arman.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, right? And that's, I mean, God, I hate like how I kind of get into this too much, but I mean, that's really like, that's the definition of, you know, a monopoly where a single promoter owns the title and the rankings. And it's not a good thing for the sport, in my opinion. And I have to question what it's going to do for the longevity of the sport. You know, I don't think in the short term it's really going to make a big difference, right? Like, you know, it's going to sell the next fight, right? It's going to sell the next pay-per-view. But trends tend to come and go, right? Fads tend to come and go. At some point, like, you know, to have staying power and lasting power, I think it requires, you know, a meritocracy based system. It's going to require, you know, some, you know, if you want to bring in guys like Arman Tsarukyan or Movsar Evloev, I always mess up how I say his name. You want to bring in these Olympic wrestling level guys. I mean, they don't want to have to go out there and put on some ridiculous show to become a champion. They don't want to have to go on Instagram and start a podcast and make you know, whatever kind of skits on social media and this silly kind of stuff. Like, they just want to be a world champion because they want to be the best athlete. And that's what makes me wonder how the staying power is going to be, right? When you're dealing with guys that are, you know, legitimate athletes that want to be legitimate athletes, and they're getting passed up by guys that are entertainers.
Eddie Alvarez saying preparation decides this fight is code for something darker, because you cannot fake Justin Gaethje in a gym. You cannot replicate that pressure without breaking bodies. And if Paddy hasn't felt that kind of collision already, then fight night becomes a live experiment, and experiments fail violently. And yeah, I'm telling you right now, someone in his camp is overconfident.
You know, I'm not looking to grapple, but I have no issue, you know, with the grappling department, and my ability to keep people from taking me down is second to none. So he's going to have to, you know, compromise me with his punches and kicks and knees, and then, you know, if that happens, then he'll have a better chance. But this is such a crazy game, you know, you just never know. Maybe I'll stop.
Charles Oliveira said it clean. And that's what makes it terrifying. Strike with Gaethje and you could go unconscious. Grapple with him. And you might survive, but here's the twist. Nobody's addressing. Gaethje's takedown defense isn't just physical, it's psychological. And if Paddy hesitates for 1 second choosing between ego and survival, the fight ends, just ends. And not in a pretty way.
It's an honour to get in the cage with him and fight him, but I feel bad saying it because I've said it already. I think I'm going to retire him.
Is that where you think he is in his career? You think he
Yeah,
is?
I think he could be on the verge, on the precipice of retiring. He said himself he was going to retire if he didn't get a title shot, so when I beat him, he's not going to get another title shot, is he? So
Matt Brown calling out the system wasn't bitterness, it was frustration boiling over. Because when popularity leapfrogs merit, you create resentment, and resentment eventually explodes into chaos, and the UFC is stacking too many of these moments back to back. And I keep wondering which contender finally snaps and says enough. Because trends don't die quietly, they collapse.
And I've never had a war in all my years of fighting, so I'm looking forward to one.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, of course. Always want one.
So you never had a war, you want to start it by doing it with Justin Gaethje?
Well, yeah.
Where's your head at, man?
It's firmly screwed on my shoulders, lad, but people are laughing at me when I'm saying I'm going to stand with him, but I am. People think that I'm just going to shoot in the first 10 seconds. I'm not. I'm going to stand with him, and I'm going to put it on him, and people are going to be like, wow, we weren't lying. He's more of a boxer with leg kicks, and I'm an MMA striker. I don't do just boxing or Thai boxing or kickboxing or taekwondo or karate. I'm an MMA striker, and you'll see that when I fight.
Gaethje saying he wants to derail the hype train isn't trash talk, it's intent, because spoilers don't get remembered kindly, but they get remembered forever. And if Justin wins, he doesn't just beat Paddy, he humiliates the machine that fast-tracked him. And if he loses, that might be the end. And yeah, that word matters here more than anyone wants to admit. Paddy talking about retiring Gaethje made my stomach turn a bit, not because it's impossible, but because words like that summon consequences. And when you tell a man this is his last stand, you better be ready to live with what he becomes. And something tells me Paddy hasn't seen that version yet, hasn't felt it, hasn't heard the silence right before violence breaks loose. Everyone keeps saying this will be respectful, calm, sportsmanlike, but that's always how it starts before egos collide. Because once the door shuts, respect evaporates, and Paddy saying he wants a war sounds brave until you remember Gaethje lives there, sleeps there, thrives there, and I swear, if this turns into a firefight, the division will feel the shockwave for years. So here we are with January looming, narrative stacked, contenders ignored, champions absent, and an interim belt that feels heavier than it should. And I can't shake this feeling that something's about to be exposed. Someone's about to be proven wrong in a way that can't be undone. And if you think you know how this ends, you're lying to yourself. Because this story isn't finished, it's loading.